And we are live again for another episode of Girls on Graps. This week being Mania Preview Edition, where we are probably not going to talk about WrestleMania, but there's a whole lot of events going on around it. So we're going to be talking about everything Mania weekend related. We might talk a little bit about AEW. 2 out of 3 of us have not watched Dynasty yet and are not up to date. So we'll see what happens. But before we get into any of that, please do like, subscribe, send your super chats if you're feeling generous. Stick around for the entire show because Vert Vixen will be joining us in about 15-20 minutes. We'll see. She has the link. Whenever she's ready, she will be pulling up to talk about some of her Mania weekend matches. But right now, as you can see, we are joined by a special guest once again. Lyric, how are you? Welcome back.
I'm muted. Hello, everybody. So happy to be here. Happy to be with the girls. It's a lot going on, guys, but it's going to be really fun stuff. I know me and Charlie are going to be at Mania Week. We haven't seen each other in forever. So, yeah, I'm super excited to connect with her, some of you in the chat. So, yeah, let's rock and roll, guys.
Let's get it going. And Anna, we missed last week. We didn't do a show last week. I can't remember why we didn't.
Yes.
But we didn't do a show. So, how are you?
I wasn't home. I was in another country.
You were in a different country in Europe.
Yes, I was in Amsterdam. Yes, I was. And next,
I don't know if I can publicly say where you were.
Okay, I'm not there anymore.
Did you have fun?
It was so nice. I met up with my friend from Brazil. That is like, I used to do, before I started doing podcasts in English, I used to do podcasts in Portuguese. And we have this podcast. She's still doing it. If anyone here is Brazilian or speaks Portuguese. It's a podcast about women's wrestling. So we did that for like a couple of years during the pandemic. My friend, she's still like doing that. So very nice project. As the only podcast, I think, in Portuguese about women's wrestling. So yeah, and then it was very nice to like meet here in Europe for the first time since like I moved here. And it was Charlie, actually, that was something. She was in a Progress show, I think, that you were at, and she sent me a message and she's like, "Oh, I think your friend Charlie is here." And I was like, "Go say hi to her," but she didn't.
Wait, what? She should have come and said hello.
I know. I told her.
Well, the last one that just happened.
Literally, yeah. She went to Raw and SmackDown in London. Yeah, and then she was in a, like, I don't know if it was Progress or... She said it was, like, all standing. Yeah, I mean, she was standing at least. And there was a
was she in Camden?
Match. Yeah, I think so. In Camden.
Yeah, it would have been Progress then if she was in Camden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very recognizable person, so...
Yeah, but she's like... You were with friends and stuff, and she didn't want to, just go like, "Hi, I'm Anna's friend from Brazil." And I was like, "You should have. It would have been such a interesting, like."
I'm always with friends. Unfortunately, I am always with someone.
Yeah, it would be like a very nice like mesh of worlds, like my Brazilian podcast is, and now like all of the girls
would have been
together.
Crazy.
I
haven't seen you in almost a year, but I've seen your friend.
Yeah.
People tell me that all the time, Charlie. They're like, "Oh my God, I've seen your friend Charlie when I was in the UK or stuff like that."
You always see Charlie. There is a chance that if you go to a wrestling show in the UK, there's like a 99% chance you're gonna see Charlie there.
It doesn't matter where. Like, you could be in Cardiff, you could be in Bristol, you could be in Manchester, you could be in Liverpool, you could be in London. I'll probably be there.
I'm actually so jealous of that, like how accessible it is to like get around, because I feel like the States is just like, it literally has to be like a flight halfway across the country to get somewhere. Yeah. I love how like everybody could just take a train or a bus and just like, yeah, let's go to Manchester.
Yeah, I don't drive. I get public transport everywhere, so.
That's so great. That's my favorite thing with Europe as well, because Brazil is the same thing. It's like so huge that even for me to go to the next state, like the state right next to me, it's an airplane, And here, like, I go to a whole different country in a little train, vibing, or a bus. So chill, so calm.
That is kind of crazy. I couldn't imagine like permanently living in a country where I can't just get on a bus or a train and go somewhere. Like, when I was in America, I liked New York because of like it's more walkable than a lot of cities. But when I was in LA, Lexi's in chat. When we were in LA last for Full Gear, we walked to Target, and a walk that should have taken like 7 minutes took us like 20 because there's nowhere to walk. You
I
have to
hated LA for that reason.
like it's the worst.
It's so different because I lived in São Paulo my whole life, and then and there it's everything you do by car or public transport. Like you cannot physically walk because first of all, huge city, just huge city, and if you want to walk, very dangerous. But also there's the same thing. There's like no paths to walk, and in Europe, I feel like at least here where I am or the places that I travel, if you try to go to places by car, then it's impossible. Like to walk somewhere is like a 10-minute walk. By car is like 40 minutes because everything is just so walkable. And then when I went back now, like for the summer in Brazil, so in December, and I just realized like, oh my God, I'm saying like, oh, this place is so close to my house. So close, it's 30 minutes by car. Here, 30 minutes by car. I'm in another country. And I was like, what the fuck?
I think also too, living in the South, especially, Alexia probably knows this, but like we don't really have trains or anything like down here. Up north, like New York, Chicago, Philly, like those states, those cities, I mean, they all have like, train systems, subways. The South, it really is a free-for-all, bro. Good luck.
That's a nightmare. Yeah, what do you do if you don't drive? Like I'm not a driver.
I don't drive, and so like I have like the craziest time. I will also say though, if I feel like I live in the right part of town, like you'll have like a part of town that's walkable, and then everything else is like pretty rural. Like I don't live in like rural South. Like I can't do it, but I know a lot of people who do, and they literally have to ride like their tractors everywhere. It gets really dicey around here, especially if you're not near like a major airport. Like some people, and a bigger thing, and this just goes into kind of like capitalism and the fall of the world. But like hospitals are getting like farther and further apart. Like there's some people who have to like drive like 40, 50 miles to get to the hospital. So no joke.
That's how many kilometers?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Actually, I'm sorry. I have no idea.
I don't know what miles are.
I'll figure that out. Everybody stay tuned.
No, but honestly, like that's such a huge difference, and that really breaks the European mind because I was telling my like German friend, and Germany is a big country, huh? But I was telling like my German friend, I was like, oh, my best friend from Brazil, like she moved really close to my family, and he asked like, oh, how much is like really close for you guys? I was like, oh, it's half an hour by car. That's like she's practically my neighbor, and he was so like confused about it. It was like half an hour by car, that's close, and I was like, yeah, that's literally like the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it was 80 kilometers. 80.
Oh yeah, that's insane for a hospital.
No, you're dead. No, you're dead. It's at that point you're dead. It's okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about this as well. I got an Uber from Burbank to LAX, and the amount of money I paid for that Uber, and it was like to be fair, it was rush hour. It was like 6 p.m. on a Monday. To be fair, it was 6 p.m. on a Monday. I also almost missed my flight because I did not account for LA traffic. That was my bad though. That was not the Uber's fault. But it was like over $50 for that drive from Burbank to LAX. And it was like, without traffic, it's like a half an hour drive. I paid like £20, which like, what, $25, $26 for like a 45-minute drive the other day.
Do you remember how long that Uber ride was when we had to go to the Revolver show in LA? Like, it felt like 50 minutes. Like 40, 50
yeah.
to get
and
to
it should have been a
show.
short drive.
Yeah, so that was Full Gear 23 weekend. So when they had that Revolver show, it should have only been like 15, 20 minutes, and it felt like 40.
God, it's crazy.
I could never.
It's actually crazy.
Like,
just Ubers anywhere in LA is anywhere in America. Yeah. I just feel like it's always traffic because you can't walk anywhere, so there's more cars on the road.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You get also used so fast to like places that are walkable and places that you can have like good public transport. You go anywhere and you just walk around. You get used to it so fast, so fast. Like I said, I lived my whole life in São Paulo. I moved to Europe for 2 years, and when I go back, I'm like, where am I? How do I survive here all this time? I'm just getting cars and Ubers everywhere. I cannot even walk, and even if I want to walk, I can't. Because like I said, it's impossible. It's not built for this, you know? And like you get used to the walkable part very, very fast. It's like one of the nicest things in the world. Honestly, if you can walk through a whole city, go somewhere, I love it.
Honestly, London's the best for it because, like, I walked from Soho to Camden, and it's like a 40-minute walk, but it's like scenic and it's fun, and it doesn't feel like 40 minutes because you're just walking through the city.
Everywhere you walk, that even if it's a long walk, you're walking past like such cute buildings and everything. You know, it's like it's so. I honestly, I love Europe.
I think that's why
you can walk 40 minutes in America and still be in the Target parking lot.
Yes. I think that's why I do like New York, because it's a grid. So like you can
the box is great.
You're getting somewhere. You're actually really getting somewhere, you know, from one place to another. But most of the places, unfortunately, in America are not like that. And we are a car-dependent society. That's why we will be eaten first in the apocalypse.
Concrete jungles, as they say. We have gone a weird way with this podcast already. This is what happens when we talk about traveling. We just talk about horror stories with trying to walk places that you can't walk in America. But it is relevant because of we will be spending, and when I say we, I mean me and Lorik. Unfortunately, Anna will not be there, much to my sadness and chagrin. But we will be in LA for. No, we won't. We will be in Vegas for WrestleMania. I will be flying out on Tuesday. It's literally 6 days away that I fly out, and I will be staying there for a week. I am there for the whole week. I am scared for my bank account because that's so much money to be spending. But you're there till Saturday, right, Lyric?
Yes, I'm getting in on Wednesday morning and leaving on Saturday night. And I am crazy enough to where I'm going to Chicago this weekend. So I'm going on Friday for Windy City Riot. I'm doing Windy City Riot. Listen,
so how much is that travel like for you? How many hours is to go there and then go to Las Vegas to go home? Like, what is the
by plane? It's not. It's like what, 2? But now Vegas is going to be like maybe 3-4 hours, but Chicago is going to be like 2-hour flight. So that's going to be really cool. My best friend from 6th grade, she's finally going with me on one of my wrestling trips. So like this is the first time like she's ever gonna come with me. So I just couldn't miss Tana versus Takeshita. But yeah, so that'll be fine. But like Vegas is going to hurt. Vegas is going to hurt. Switching time zones, going from East Coast to West Coast to East Coast, it gives me whiplash. Like when I went to Seattle and when I went to LA, it took me a while to readjust like time zone wise. So it's going to hurt, but it's going to be worth it.
I am scared of the time difference. I'm not scared of the time difference. That's so dramatic. It's just been a while since I've been to the West Coast. And now that I work a 9 to 5, I feel like it's going to take me a lot more. It's going to be a harder adjustment period because my sleep schedule's so normal at the moment. I'm not like staying up until like 6 a.m. my time anymore. Yeah. Which is why I don't watch wrestling.
Right? It makes it so tough. And honestly, I think the only reason why I'm kept up with AEW is because like I'm American. You know, it comes on at a decent time. But adults and stuff.
If it was a normal time for me as well, like I would still watch it because I'm still up until 1, you know. But then after that, and the shows usually start like 2 for me. So after that, it's just very hard. Like I wanted to watch Dynasty. I had it in my head, like I'm gonna watch it, but I had just worked a full day, and then I had to work the next day, and it was until 5 a.m. And then I woke up, and we were talking about this backstage. I just want to bring up that I went on a timeline, and usually the day after a pay-per-view, when you open Twitter, it's everyone talking about the pay-per-view. The good, the bad, it's just everyone talking about it. I did not see a single tweet about Dynasty, to the point that I was doubting, like, did it even happen? Like, I had to go to AW's Twitter page to see, like, actually, yes, the pay-per-view happened, because I did not see a single person talking about it for, like, 10 minutes scrolling, not a single tweet. And I don't understand like how that happened, but for me, that's somehow even worse than when people are actually like talking bad about it. Because if no one is saying anything, that for me means that something happened that it was just either not exciting at all, or something happened that makes people just want to pretend that it didn't.
Yeah, they broke the fan base. I'm not gonna lie, they broke the fan base's brain with that one. I think for me personally, how I felt about it is, everybody knows how I feel about Hangman Swerve. It's like my favorite feud. I think it's amazing. But I wasn't really checking for that to be the all-in main event until it felt like they were teasing it. Like it felt like they were outright teasing it. And so like if you tease it, of course I'm on board for it. Like this is happening great. Like I like, you know, we already fantasy booked the card. Like they're just flat out teasing this. Like we're back, you know, chat, we're back. And so the way that finish happened, to waste, like, you know, the whole Hangman coming out thing, to use my glorious young
my glorious EVPs. Why have you done this?
Why have you forsaken me? You're most faithful. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting. It just didn't make sense. I honestly, it was kind of like, it just broke your spirit. And honestly, I think especially after there was so much really, really good momentum heading into Dynasty, like the ticket sales, people were behind Swerve, like even bigger this year than they were last year at Dynasty. All this excitement over All In, like, you know, people are having conversations of like, you know, it's going to be a stretch, but I want to work it out. Like, I want to be able to see this in the main event. Like, I'm so excited for what this card is shaping up to be. It was a lot of, you know, they released like that week of events. And so like, I'm hearing people talking about, hey, I'm going to go put in for my PTO. Hey, I'm going to do this. And it's just like, you know what? Y'all got it. And I'm not even going to say like I'm not going or anything, because for me, Kenny Omega is enough to get me in the door. But for a lot of people who aren't aware of what the Okada Omega feud is, because they still haven't really built that on television yet, I'm going to be honest, I don't see what's going to really move another 15,000 people to get in the building right now. I just don't. And it was just really unfortunate because, like I said, they really teased it. We didn't ask for a tag team. We do want the tag match eventually, but we didn't ask for that at all. Like nobody asked for that. So,
okay. So, like I said, the tweets, I did not see someone in the timeline actually explaining what happened. I just saw like, okay, Young Bucks are back, but I generally did not see people talking about the finish. It felt like everyone was just ignoring it and pretending like it didn't happen at all. So break it down for me. Okay, Young Bucks. Do they screw Swerve? Do they like?
Yes, so they screw Swerve. And honestly, I just never watched.
Why?
I might have this wrong. We still don't know. But Swerve and Mox, I will say the match was actually pretty decent. It wasn't like great, but it was great. It was better than, like, I would say the other main events that has happened during this Mox reign. And then you have the Death Riders get involved, of course. And then Samoa Joe runs out. No, Hangman came out. And the Death Riders take care of him. Then you have Samoa Joe and the Ops come out because they beefing with the Death Riders, right? And then so they're going at it, and I'm like, I actually tweet, I said Samoa Joe has saved AEW once again. And then the lights go out, and then it comes up, and now the Bucks are in BTE trigger mode with Swerve, and then they get them. Mox wins. And I would also like to say they ended you know how typically like they let things breathe for a little bit. They cut the stream off like directly afterwards. Like they just cut the pay-per-view stream off. Just they closed it on Hangman's face. They didn't announce shit for Dynamite, nothing. They just cut the stream off. Very bloodliney. Very bloodliney. Yeah.
That's the only thing that I saw, like that's the only thing that I saw that people were comparing to the Bloodline, and I was like, "Oh, that's not I don't think from AW fans that's a positive comparison."
No, it's not.
Oh God! But, do you guys have like theories? What is the motivation of the Bucks? Why would they? Yeah, because when was the last time they even appeared?
It actively pisses me off, right? Because you know it is exactly what has happened. Is literally months and months ago, Mox bumped into the Bucks and Jack Perry backstage, and he was just like, you know what, kid, you're not so bad. And like they were low-key on the same side for a little while, and then the fucking Bucks left and they shredded all that paper and bullshit, and now it just seems like they're supporting Mox's vision, and it really drives me nuts because when the Death Riders and BCC started up, they fucking tried to destroy the Elite. Why are they now on the same side?
And I get it, like I feel like some people are like, let it play out, and like this is for anarchy in the arena. I don't care.
Playing out.
Like,
I don't give a fuck.
Who cares? And I think
who asked
also
for this?
too, I think that it's just very for the talent. And here's the thing: you know, people are like, "Oh, just let it play out." What if Hangman actually does win the Owen and stuff? Whatever. At this point, the company acknowledges that the hottest feud in the company is Hangman versus Swerve. They acknowledge like this is the bedrock of the promotion, and to acknowledge that and still not let it main event, and to like you essentially basically spelled it out. You know how important this is, but to be so married to something that isn't working, that clearly isn't working, because even throughout the crowd, like you can hear people weren't moved for that main event to the level that they were for especially the match that preceded it on the card, which was the international title match. It's just very, very unfortunate. And I think that it makes you just not want to buy in anymore. Like, what's the point? I'm never going to give up on Hangman, of course, but it's just kind of like, it's time to have some conversations.
Yeah.
It's time to have some real conversations.
Because then, if the plan is to go Hangman and Swerve versus the Bucks, it's just like, sure, but like, who asked for this? And it still feels like such a missed opportunity to not make Hangman the champion at all. And, you know, for me, that just feels like such a clear path. And for you to just go anywhere else, I don't know. I generally do not know. That for me is just so stupid. And also, why would the EVPs of the fucking company be supporting the Death Riders in their whole mission of destroying the company and what it stands for? How does that make sense?
At this point, and I think it's not even the fact of making it make sense, as you talked about, like the reaction on the internet. I think you just broke people's spirits and they don't even care anymore. And the worst thing is, one thing if your fans care enough to argue, but if you get to a point where they're just apathetic, yeah, we have a problem. Yeah. You know, and people can say whatever they want about the Death Riders, or like, you know, look at the YouTube video views. Guess what? All the ex-WWE talent gets pretty high YouTube videos. You want to know why? Because they're fans from WWE. They don't actually watch the show. They just watch their clips on YouTube and call it support. Yeah. That's exactly why you'll see stuff like that. But we're just at a point to where you have all these amazing wrestlers doing the best work of their careers, and they're carrying the card. But the main event is given to the weakest thing on the show. And that just seems unacceptable. It just feels unacceptable. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. And you don't want to, and if people do get burnt out on the Hangman Swerve stuff after this, it's going to be 100% AEW's fault.
Yeah, I feel like everything now, like everything that happens from now on, it's like there's no one else they can blame. You know, they can't be like, oh, but WWE is doing this, but this company is doing that, but like this person did this. Like, this is 100% on Tony and on the bookers, or, you know, I feel really bad for the wrestlers because you can see they are trying. You know, it doesn't feel like they're just like phoning it in and doing whatever. You can see that they are trying, but it's just not hitting. It's not connecting because the booking is not good.
There's a reason why they started off the Dynasty build on Kenny Omega's back. There's a reason why the international championship match was booked first and that tournament was done, built as basically the crux of the card. There is a reason why the Revolution card was so stacked in the midst of that Mox Coat main event. They know. And I think, like, don't get me wrong, I think some fans take it too far with like a lot of stuff they do. But to sit here and pretend like Tony Khan and whoever is the creative team is not aware of what's happening, they know. Whatever's happening, whether it's political or what, that just seems to be more important than fan support. And I'm going to be honest, they deserve whatever they get as it relates to those all-in ticket sales. And anything under 25K will be seen as a failure. It will be seen, honestly,
I'm
30.
I'm not going in anymore. Not because of this. I'm just not. No, honestly. Also, real quick before we continue, I feel like I've just been really unsociable for the last like 2 minutes. Bert Vixen just messaged me. Unfortunately, she's had to pull out because of a family emergency. So wishing her all the best. Hope everything's okay with her. We'll try and get her on in the future or post-Mania or something. But if you notice the title change, that was why. I was doing admin-y things in the background. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I won't be going to All In this year because I just don't want to spend the money on the trip.
I'm gonna be honest at this point. If it's just gonna be a whole bunch of matches you didn't sign up to see, I don't see the point of spending the money on the trip. I think, especially for international, right? Like if this is an international trip, especially in the midst of the tariffs.
Yeah, exactly. That as well. Like everything going on stateside at the moment. Also, like it's gonna be fun. The fact that it's like a whole like weekend of stuff. I would have so much FOMO not being able to do everything because I can't get time off work now, because of things being already like booked around that, like because you can only have like so many people off per day, and the only reason I got the holiday that I did have for it is because of I was pre-planned before like I got my new job, and like I don't know, I just flights are expensive, accommodation would be expensive, like. And like the way the card's shaping up, I'm not in love with where the build's going.
I'm considering shortening my trip. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like, especially if they end up doing Mercedes versus Tony, don't get me wrong, I want to see that match. I don't want to see that match all in. I signed up for Mercedes versus Athena. That was why I wanted to go to All In originally. I wanted to be in the stadium for that. Like, like Omega Okada is like holding it for me. But honestly, at this point, if the card doesn't seem to be shaping up pretty better, I'm probably not going to do the full week. I'll probably come in on Friday, leave on Sunday.
Yeah, but Omega and Okada is also like, for me, it's a tricky one, right? Because the thing is, of course, I fully trust them to have an amazing match. Like, look at the matches they had in the past. But we have to realize it's AEW Okada, it's 2025 Okada. It's Okada being like, I can relax now. So it's more in for me, the question is like, is he going to bring it like he did before, or like is he gonna, like, I think he realizes how important this match is. Is he gonna give all of the energy? Like, how much time is the match gonna have? What is the plan that they have with the booking? Because I'm very afraid that this match would somehow, I mean, I fully trust Kenny Omega, but I don't like the booking situation now and the way that Okada's gonna phone it in. I am a bit worried that it's not going to live up to their previous matches, because that's a very, very extremely high bar to reach. So that's like my biggest concern. Like, I am excited to see it. I know that even if they have like a mid match for their standards, that's still going to be a better match than like 99% of wrestlers usually have. But I'm just afraid that it's going to somehow like just feel, oh, why did they do that?
I'm not particularly worried, and the only reason why I'm not worried is because Okada only shows effort in situations like these, like of like those big, like for example, like World's End, like he gave probably his best performance in AEW, at the Continental Classic final, in stadiums and stuff like that. That's when he comes alive. Now everything else, good luck, Charlie. Not actually you, Charlie, but you know what I'm saying. Good luck getting him to care. But I don't worry in that aspect. And I think because of even like the international three-way, it went 35 minutes. Some people were even complaining it went too long. So Kenny does get a lot of time on pay-per-view. So I'm not really worried about that. I think I just worry about is the rest of the card. Will I care enough? It looks like we're heading towards FTR versus Edge and Christian. Cool.
Who gives the fuck? It's 2025.
Loki, that much.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's like one of the only videos that I saw also from Dynasty was FTR turning on Cope. It's just like, okay.
Wait, did FTR finally turn heel?
Oh yeah, I will say it was kind of fire though. They executed. They executed him.
I did see. I saw the clip. I saw the screenshot of Cash Wheeler wearing the neck brace.
No, I will say, and I'm not a FTR fan at all, but they ate that turn. The turn was good. The turn was actually good. The turn was actually good, and I think that heel FTR is what the tag division needs.
Yeah, I think it'll be a shot in the arm type shit.
I think I'm just not particularly moved, especially like, don't get me wrong, I really wanted Megan Bayne to win. I think that Tony will be a great incumbent champion for All In, but I think that you had a real opportunity to do something different.
She should have won.
You said what?
I thought she should have won.
Yeah. I think that
I said that. Like,
I think there was a real opportunity to do something really special. And I think also, too, use Tony's star power to actually do a fucking. Can I curse on here? Sorry.
yeah, no, you can. It's only the first
Yeah.
5 minutes for like monetary reasons.
Okay. To actually be able to do a non-title feud so we can get more than 2 women's matches on the card. And Toni Storm is one of the only people who has the star power to be able to do that. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think Jamie should win Owen. Sorry. The reason why I say this is because she's already been champion. Should she win the championship again? 100%. Should it happen this year? Probably. But you have to think about, because of the Tony Mariah story, it was 18 months. Willow Nightingale has been stalled on the card. Chris Statlander has been stalled on the card. So many people have been held up and haven't been to the next level. Like, think about how many people have just been in a standstill to where they can't win matches, they can't lose matches, they end up not being used at all, just because the world title has been locked in with, like, you know, the Tony Mariah stuff. And I think you need a new champion. You need a new champion at all.
It should be Willow. Like, for me, it should be Willow.
Should be Willow.
I think
it should be Willow.
Here's the thing. The reason why I don't think that Willow should be like champ at All In specifically is because I think that because she has such a big history with like both Athena and Mercedes, I think that her eventual crowning will go through them. Like, I do think like her story will go through them, one of them, like eventually. And I think that Willow honestly needs another run with the TBS championship. Like, I think before she wins the world title, she probably needs a second run, like with the TBS title. And in my perfect world, she would be winning the women's casino gauntlet match. You know, I had like a fantasy booking where Stat wins the world title at All In, Willow wins a title shot for All Out, and they get to run back the match that they had last year on All Out for the world title, because they are actually homegrown talent that we need to uplift. Like, there's no use in running Mercedes versus Tony until it can actually main event a pay-per-view. There's no reason.
And like, but for me, the main thing with Jamie is like, of course, I would love to see Jamie winning the title again. I would love to see like Jamie versus Tony again, because they always hit it off, you know. But how do you expect to do that moment in All In when, since Jamie came back, you've just been like icing her out, basically? She hasn't felt important. She hasn't felt big. Her return was one of the most expected ones. And then she came back and it feels like she's not even there, you know, and people would just stop giving a fuck about her. And then you think, oh, let me run like this small little tournament for like 3 weeks. And then people are going to care enough. She's going to be championess. Everything's going to be fine. Like, if you wanted her to get to that point, you should have like just kept her in a position that people are gunning for it. People are like, oh my God, I hope that Jamie wins. I hope that she wins. And I hope that she takes it all. And like, people are like hoping for it because everyone loved Jamie that much. But now it's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. And I love Jamie and I love women's wrestling, but I do not care. Like you said, the one match that I'm fully expecting is Mercedes and Athena. They started teasing it. I feel like that's the way to go. But like, I don't know. The rest of the card, it's just not moving me. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with the main title at this point. Like, I'm fully expecting Darby to just come back like the week before, but I mean, he's climbing Everest like next week or something, right? Yes,
and I just don't. I'm gonna be honest. I never understand that wrestling isn't a merit-based business, and I appreciate everything that Darby has done for AEW, and I would be very open to him winning the world title eventually, but for everybody to get for the rest of the roster to get ticket sales back up, to get TV ratings back up, to literally be grinding it out and pulling the company back up while you were gone, just to give the All In main event away, feels crazy. Like, that feels crazy. It just feels crazy. And I know some people are like, oh yeah, what if, like, you know, Mox even retains an All In. I guarantee you that'll be my last day watching. That'll be my last day watching All Elite Wrestling for a very long time.
That's crazy. That was crazy timing.
Like, I don't even know, like, then if Darby is not back,
I'm gonna crash out.
Who is Mox even going against? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? Because that's gonna be the main event.
So oh,
it's
gonna be so disgusting when Moxley faces Shota Umino at Forbidden Door to defend the world title. It's gonna be so fucking disgusting.
I'm going to fucking kill myself.
I can beat the traffic. I can beat the traffic. No,
I'm leaving. If that's on, no. I swear to God, if that's the main event, I am leaving. Like, I could not. You will not force me.
I don't think it'd be the main event.
Shota Umino
I'm
match.
still kind of on the boat of Ospreay Tanahashi's probably going to main event that show. If I had to guess,
if they are smart,
or Shibata Goto.
No, I swear to fucking God. Like, that's gonna be my bathroom break. You cannot force me to watch the Shota Umino match in person. Like, do you hate me? I'm gonna do the same thing that I did. Girl.
That's how I feel about Chicago. I was so excited, and then they announced Goto versus Shota. If he actually fucks around and wins the IWGP title in front of me, I will.
He's not gonna win at Chicago.
Listen, no. Here's the thing. I understand y'all say that, but if you've been watching New Japan recently, like the way that they've just been, it's not out of the question. And because they didn't do a lot of stuff when it makes sense, like the full heel turn, which makes me believe that it very well could be Windy City Riot. And I will say, out of all of the New Japan shows that happen like in the US, Windy City Riot is always the one that has a consequential finish to whatever's happening in Japan. Like last year, you had Mox beat Naito for the championship. Like, it's a very real possibility. I wish I wasn't saying this. It actually disgusts me to have these words coming out of my mouth. But it is actually a very real possibility for Shota Umino to beat.
Girl, no. Like, I feel like I just come on this channel now to talk shit about Shota Umino, but I cannot conceive it in my head, the fact that he had like some of the biggest stinkers, some of like such a huge, like horrible year. He has one of the worst main events of Wrestle Kingdom ever, if not like the worst, with Zack Sabre Jr., which is, again, I cannot even talk about this anymore. But like, I cannot conceive the fact that he shat the bed so horribly and he's still getting these shots.
He shat up
in that position. Like, what does he know? Who, like, does he have ties with the Yakuza? Like, what is the deal there? Because it's not fucking possible. It's like, that does not make sense in my head. Like, because if you say, oh, but it's based on merit, he didn't deserve it. It's based on popularity. He's not popular. People fucking hate him. It's based on like who, like, if you're the best wrestler, he's not. So it's like,
he's a Nepo baby and he's not even good at it.
From who? Because he had the same haircut as Tanahashi.
And I think
I meant like
what's gotten really frustrating. What I found really frustrating about Shota recently
is he actually someone's son?
Yes, he's Red Shoes Umino. His dad is the head referee of New Japan.
Who?
Red Shoes.
Oh, I didn't know. He's Red Shoes' kid.
Yes.
No, guys, come on. He's the Nepo baby of a ref.
They take shit serious. They take shit serious over here.
Bro, no, Red Shoes, love Red Shoes, iconic, but like, they're treating him like he's the fucking, like, he's the second coming of Misawa. Like, what's happening? He's the referee. Like, in 10 years, are we gonna be watching Bryce Rensman's son defeat Moxley for the title? Like, what are we doing here? Oh my God.
I need, at the end of the year, a compilation of all the Girls on Graps moments where Anna has just learned something about wrestling. Because I don't think I think the funniest moments on this channel is when Anna learns something or tells a story of learning something in wrestling. Because last time we did a podcast, he's not the son of Jushin like us.
Rest in peace, baby.
Oh, I just
the Wrestle baby.
I think that
the Wrestle baby is crazy.
The bare minimum, like, he had a good match with David Finlay. And here's the thing. It wasn't great. It was a good match. Good. And because of that, people are like, oh, we're so bad. We're so bad. Oh, Shota. Oh, maybe you're fine where you're supposed to be. No, David Finlay is godly right now. What are we saying? This is a
He's a real Nepo baby. His dad was a wrestler.
What are we saying? This is the Rebel King. This is the Rebel Savior. He can have David Finlay could have a good match with a broomstick at this point, right? And I'm so serious. And I'm gonna be honest, I walked away from that match saying, like, oh my God, David Finlay should be in every Wrestler of the Year conversation. Do you understand how much if you watch that match, do you know how much he gave in that match? He gave so much to Shota. If Shota had bombed that match, I genuinely don't know what to tell you. He was so giving. He was like, this is a David Finlay win. This is not a win for Shota Umino. Do you hear me? And now you have him in front of my Goto, the Goto Revolution, the only person that gets me to believe in wrestling the way that I do today. And by God, if you have Goto's shoulders go to the mat for a 1, 2, 3, I'm crashing out in Chicago on God. Right? I swear to God, it will not be funny, bro.
Oh my God.
It's not going to be funny, bro.
You know, guns are legal in America. Worst case, I'm kidding, guys. I am joking. This is a joke for all intents and purposes.
Oh my gosh. I'm so over it, bro. Like, we got bench players talking like starters. We are literally giving people props for doing the bare minimum. Oh, Shota, I know you bombed the Wrestle Kingdom main event. Oh, Shota, I know your New Japan Cup final was ass. Oh, Shota, oh, your G1 run sucked, but you had a 3.75 with David Finlay, and you're going to be a star. Shut up. Oh, Shota, you had a good match with Tanahashi, and he still carried you with half a knee. Oh, Shota. Oh, we need to give him more chances to grow into who he's going to be. You can only grow in a world title match? I've had it. Like, I think this is the one thing in wrestling, even more than the AEW stuff, at least Mox has, like, you know, he has a history. He has a trajectory of, we know that he has done better in his career. We know he's capable of more. That's why it's frustrating. Shota, you have not done enough to have earned all of this grace. You have not earned this.
Red Shoes decided to have sex 30 years ago, and now we're suffering the consequences. It's like, how is that fair? How is that fucking fair?
And then here's the thing, whenever you say something about it on Twitter, you got the 3-4 Shota Umino fans, they got their tweet notifications on because they're the only people who fucking care. And only people, they'd be like, you're just so this. And I said something the other day, I said, can we give it like something about the Shota Umino experiment is not working? He's a human. Do you not follow him on Instagram? He's really upset about it. I'm upset I had to watch that shit. Who cares? And my thing is, I wouldn't have a problem, but it's just if he was like everybody else in the sense of working his way up, you know, like he didn't go and say, oh, let me go compete for the TV championship. Let's start there. Or let me go compete for the never openweight championship. Well, you know, you don't want that smoke with Takeshita, so I understand. Let me go even, beef with Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Championship. No. Maybe go grab that tag rope. No. Maybe go grab the Trios rope. No. Maybe go for one of those American titles, the Strong Championship. No. I'm going to go after the world title again and again and again and again and bomb so many times to the point to where everybody just gives up.
No, honestly, I will never forgive him for having to make me defend the fact that Zack Sabre Jr. is a good wrestler.
No,
it's like I felt gaslighted. It's like defending that the sky is blue or water is wet. I felt like I was just having to like tell people something so obvious, but that's how bad Shota Umino is.
You want to know what's so crazy? The fact that people walked away from that and that there's now an agenda. People walked away from all of this saying that there's now a bigger Zack Sabre Jr. is bad agenda than Shota Umino should not be where he is agenda, and that is crazy. That is disgusting. That is disgusting, and I hate that it happened to Zack because oh my God. My Shayla, you did nothing to deserve
Zack, you're
this.
an angel. I love you. You do not deserve the hate that you get. I'm so excited to see you WrestleMania weekend. I'll probably see you on the show. I have fucking no idea what I'm going to.
These people don't deserve you.
I genuinely, I cannot.
Stay on that
side.
Believe.
Genuinely. I'm sorry. I genuinely cannot fucking believe that he's Red Shoe's son. Like, and that, like. That should not fucking count. That should not
he is Red Shoe's son. I don't think that's the reason he has so much good grace, but I don't know. It was funny to bring up. I didn't know you didn't know.
Did you watch his matches with Ospreay? So did you see the one? So did you see the match he had with Ospreay with the referee stoppage?
Yes. No.
Okay. So okay, that makes sense. Why you don't know? So like it was a whole
I was there for it, so
yeah, so like it was a whole angle. He wrestled Ospreay, and so like Ospreay kept doing hidden blades to the back of the neck again and again and again and again and again. Red Shoe stopped the match because he was like
maybe I did. I think I did see it, but I just didn't connect the dots. Lyric, I thought Jushin Liger was dead for 5 years because they did like an homage to him in WWE. You know what I mean? Like he wrestled Tyler Breeze the same fucking month, and I still thought he was dead for like 5 years. So it's not like let's not put too much on me right now.
She also thought that they actually took Shibata's brain out of his head. So.
You want to know what? And I'm really glad that you brought that up, Charlie, because I just tweeted something. They scheduled Mox versus Shibata tonight, and I just feel like it is the nastiest thing that I could think of on the anniversary of his brain being taken out and put back in. You fed him to the Death Riders.
That is
in 2025. He defeated death. He defeated death.
Do they hate him? That's like worse. You know what is worse? With the Death Riders or having your brain physically removed from your head. I would choose the latter. You know
Give me the scalpel.
Lobotomy.
I'll take the scalpel. I'll take the scalpel.
Thanks. I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Take it out.
Don't worry. I'll get the ball rolling. Like,
y'all, what are we saying at this? My thing is, I just feel like, what are we talking about at this point? And the fact that Mox, and I'm a big Mox fan, so this hurts me to say, but the fact that Mox and his young boy are reigning terror over my glorious dub and my glorious Shin Mahan, free me now. I've even cut down my show schedule. I've cut down my show schedule of all the pay-per-views I plan to attend, and even the ones that I do plan to attend. They find a way to ruin it. I was so happy about Windy City Riot until that match got announced. And I know all these other people are acting so good about it. It's going to be so good about it. It's going to be so good about it. Enough!
Like, I swear, now, Charlie, that you mentioned that probably the match for Forbidden Door is going to be Mox and Shota, I'm just kind of, like, I swear to God.
I wanted that rematch. I hate that I feel so sour about it because I liked the original match and I really wanted the rematch. But now, please stay away from me.
No, I feel so vindicated with the whole Shota thing because I never fucked with him. You know, like when he had the whole thing of like, oh, he's Mox's son, and he wore the jacket when Mox did like his first tour in Japan, like 2019 or something. Like and everyone was like, oh, Shota. I was always like, sure, he's there. You know, like at that point he hadn't done anything that was like too egregious that I just hated him, but I never thought he was good, but I kept quiet because people seemed to love him so much. But after the Wrestle Kingdom main event, I could not keep quiet anymore. Like I just had to let it out. Like he was never good. People were gaslighted. Just to think gaslit, I don't know the correct English for that one. Gaslit to think he was good because people love Moxley too much. But then you see Moxley now, you're like, you know, I love Moxley. Gaslighted, guys. English is not my first language. I was manipulated. People were trying to convince me Shota Umino was good. I was always on the right side. That's one thing that I can say for certainty. Like, for sure, I was never wrong about him. But fucking red shoes, man. Like, wear a condom next time, you know?
Right.
Like, it's...
I will say referees hold a lot of weight in Japan. Like Shibata is the is the
do.
son of a
Yeah.
of a
But he
referee.
can wrestle! He can fucking wrestle! It's
Here's the
Shibata!
thing.
Shibata can wrestle. Shibata can wrestle. And he is wrestling
Shota
once.
Umino
Guys,
wrestled
I'm
like
trying to
Shibata.
segue to do super chats. I'm trying to segue.
Okay, I'm sorry. If Shota Umino wrestled like Shibata, we would not be having this conversation.
Well,
okay?
no, I mean Shibata's also. I mean Shota's also. He showed a lot of potential, but I will say, compared to everybody in his class, Shota was the only person who was able to work with John Moxley and Will Ospreay and have all these high profile matches. Yota Tsuji didn't get that. Yuya Uemura didn't get that. They had Yuya and TNA with fucking Joe Hendry, Joya, like.
No.
What are
Yota
you
Tsuji, I
doing?
love that
I'm
man.
going to do this.
He
Stop.
is...
Okay, go ahead, Charlie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got really amped up.
Guys, please. Please. Just because they're relevant to boxing, we keep going in circles. Not that it's bad that we're going in circles. I just want to get rid of super chat. Caleb Kale, 50 pesos. Shout out to TK for running into late bloodline syndrome within 6 months, reinventing the square wheel with this storyline. Tony should main event, Double or Nothing. I agree. We're not going to get that though. Lol.
Nope.
No. Women main eventing in AW pay-per-view. Crazy.
Lol.
Women and
They're
Hangman.
just going to run Anarchy in the arena, and I just can't be fucking bothered.
Women
I
and
don't
Hangman.
care.
Two people who will never main event. You know, it's okay.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Chris Lloyd, $5 super chat. Thank you. Which is worse, 3 more months of the Death and Boredom Riders or watching 2019 Raw? Watching 2019 Raw.
Okay. I'm
I'll
gonna
take
say something
Raw.
controversial. I would watch Raw because at least
watch Raw.
2019 Raw was bad, but it wasn't boring. It was just awful. But they had like the whole like Lana and Bobby Lashley thing. They had like it was very bad. Okay, do not get me wrong. It was horrible wrestling. It was horrible TV, but at least it wasn't boring. It was just bad. And sometimes I would take something bad over something boring. Because if it's bad, at least I have something to be like, what the fuck is happening? I still have something to talk about. I don't have anything to talk about with the Death Riders.
Yeah,
I do not care.
At least with the Death Riders stuff, that's like 20 minutes of a show, but all of Raw is bad.
No, I'll take Raw. I'd take Raw too, and I think it's also because I'm not invested. Like I wasn't invested, like you know, and so
me neither. I still don't think I could rewatch it.
That's the thing. So I don't care. I care about AEW like characters too much, and I think that's like because I have such an investment. That's why the more this drags on. Because here's the thing: I could watch 2019 Raw. I wasn't going to WWE shows. I wasn't paying for flights and tickets to go to like pay-per-views and stuff like that. So it was just a TV show. AEW, yeah, like I have been the amount of money I invest between traveling and paying for subscriptions and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty invested. So this is actively ruining my life, bro. Like this is ruining my life.
Like this is why I just don't watch AEW.
I think, and also most of my, and even too, seeing how it's affected like friends of, you got to think this time last year, you know, it wasn't hard to get people to like go to a pay-per-view of like, it doesn't matter how, what their financial state was like, oh, Revolution, like we got to be there. Forbidden Door, we got to be there. I have never seen so many people just check out and flat out say like, nah, I don't think I'm going to anything this year. And it's not just because of the economy. Like there's several friends who are just saying like, honestly, I'm not going to a pay-per-view to watch John Moxley main event, bro. Like, it's just not happening. And it sucks because part of the thing, I think part of the appeal to AEW is the community. Like, you know, so many people do watch parties. So many people, like, you know, travel together, group trips, all sorts of fun stuff. And you've seen that wane. Like, you know, you've seen that wane. And it's going to continue to, honestly, at this point. Especially if Mox takes this shit as long as possible, like, oh my god, and the company doesn't care, and it doesn't matter how much you stack up the card at that point of when you actively reject what your fan base wants, people will walk.
For me, like the thing with Mox is that if they're generally just waiting for Darby to come back, like I don't think I there's no defense for that. I cannot do this anymore. Like that would be actually something that would make me just give up on AW and go full like, let's go Fed. EO Sky is champion, and now in the other company I have to look and I see fucking Mogs. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like I have Gunther. Yeah, he's going against Jey Uso. It's not great. It's not perfect, guys. I'm not a WWE fan. I just like wrestling, and right now, it's just the game that I love. It doesn't feel like it's hitting. Like I cannot wait for fucking Norby to be back. I will kill myself in front of Tony Khan and change his life trajectory. Like, okay, I just opened here a page with all the main events of Monday Night Raw from 2019, and honestly, not that bad.
What's one?
Okay, so like I'll just say like some random ones. There's a lot of AJ Styles, a lot of Seth Rollins. One was Kofi versus Bryan, which is like very good. But again, guys, I do not remember the timings. I do not remember how it ended. I'm just saying like Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens, Ricochet versus AJ Styles, Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan. A lot of
I wonder how many of these
Seth
have
Rollins
real
versus AJ
finishes.
Styles. There was
almost none of these have clean finishes, bro. But
yeah, but I'm just saying. Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins.
The 2 out of 3 falls and like the fucking this is a singles match, but here we are. We're gonna get more people involved, and then it's now a tag match after the break. I fucking hate
Rey Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Rey Mysterio.
That I do remember, and that match I do like.
I will say, nothing at this point will ever make me join Fed FC. I'm just going to. I'm gonna be honest. I just have to put American wrestling down totally and just save my money to go back to Japan. That's honestly what it is about at this point. Like, this is great. This is motivation to save my money to go back to Japan. For Tanahashi's retirement. Hopefully, man. Listen, and just my luck, they'll have fucking Shota Umino in the main event again. Shinahan, don't play with me. I'm not.
You know what I'm gonna do? My plan now is if Mox lives all in still as the AW champion, I'm starting some historical revisionism for 2019 Raw. I'm gonna be on the timeline doing the nastiest agenda anyone has ever seen. I'm gonna be tweeting clips of 2019 Raw. I'm gonna be tweeting the match graphics.
Like, damn,
exactly, like,
in 2019.
oh my god, wow, Ricochet versus AJ Styles, Bryan versus Seth Rollins. Like, wow, Raw in 2019 was so good. They were cooking. Like, look at this card. It was such a banger. Like, I'm gonna do the nastiest agenda anyone has ever seen, and I will. And you guys know how WWE fans are. I will convince them that 2019 Raw was good. Tony Khan, you will not stand a chance. Okay, like I will. This is the promise right now. If Moxley leaves All In with the title, I will pretend like nothing happened. I will not do a single tweet about All In. The next day, I'm tweeting about how 2019 Raw was amazing.
I think, you know what? It's just really sad because even for me, I can't do this much longer. Like, as somebody who streams after the shows, like, we have a lot of fun, but it's just gotten to the point where, like, bro, I don't want to see this. And the thing is, it's one thing if, like, I felt like the company genuinely doesn't know what they're doing wrong. They know. They 100% know. They are 100% aware. And do not let people try to convince you that, oh my gosh, that the Twitter isn't real life, and this is actually pretty good, and this is actually working, and like, everybody loves it. Of just like, no, the shit is ass, and we need to say it.
Know how chronically online Tony Khan is?
Very.
The most chronically online.
Has burner accounts. He is on Twitter. He's watching all of you. He's watching all of us. He is on Twitter. He sees that shit. Everything that people talk, he sees it. He just decided to ignore it, which fair, because there was a long time that people were saying like, oh, Tony, just like stop being on Twitter, just like do your own thing. But then you start ignoring people at the wrong time. Some things you do have to see what the fans are talking about. You know what I mean? Like, some things you do have to be there on Twitter, like, agreeing with them, because sometimes the fans are right. Not always, but in this case, if everyone, even your most diehard fans, are not being able to defend you, then you are doing something wrong.
And I also think like it's actually been really unfortunate of just like people are just like, oh my God, we need to stand up for Tony. You're standing up for him against actual fans, like longtime fans who buy tickets of just, it's not even like, oh, this isn't. I think a lot of wars and like wrestling is just like, oh, the AEW crowd versus the WWE crowd. No, these are actual diehard since 2019, and honestly, before that, people who have been following the Elite and a lot of these guys since Ring of Honor and New Japan, like people who've been following them for so long. These are the type of fans, especially now that you've added so many, like the roster's coming together, and since you've added Ricochet, you've added Speedball. This is a hardcore wrestling audience. These are people who pay for wrestling. They love wrestling, all types of wrestling. You know what the problem is. We don't have to there's no
literally this roster, this AW roster is like one of my favorite wrestling rosters of all time. You know, you have like some of my favorite wrestlers ever in the same place at the same time, and you still manage to make me not care somehow. You know what I mean? Like, if you're able to make me not care about the Young Bucks returning after fucking 6 months, you fucked up. You fucked up.
That sucks. I feel the same way of just like, and I wanted them back so bad. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be nice to see them. They look great. Bro, Matt Jackson is jacked. Woo.
They've been in the gym.
Yeah, they have. But not like this, bro. Not like
they could have
this.
done anything. Like, I'm glad they're still heels, but they could have done anything.
Yeah, after this huge crash out, I do have to leave. I told Charlie half an hour ago that I had to leave in 10 minutes. It's been half an hour. We started getting into the Shota Umino thing, and like, ooh, I have so much in my heart.
So much just happened.
Yeah, a lot just happened. And yes, I do agree with Charlie. If anyone wants to do a compilation, the Anacore compilation, I think through to Worldwide and Girls and Graps, you can find a lot of content there. I would like to see that because I forget sometimes things that I say. And that's not good. I get a lot of penalties backstage, but no, penalty is not a word.
Well, on this show,
penalties.
God, let's not.
It's midnight. I work 10 hours. Penalty.
Leave it at penalties. We don't want to be talking about punishments backstage.
Yes. I Red Shoe Son. So I will quickly recommend a song in a movie before I leave. So I don't leave you guys.
Oh shit! I forgot about that bit. I don't have anything.
I will quickly do that. Song, Charlie, I'll send it to you to add it to the playlist, and you send me the film. You guys send me the film afterwards. I'll add it to the letterbox. Guys, if you don't follow those, go see it. We do good recommendations. Song, I'll say "Perfect Stranger" by FKA Twigs.
Oh, slay.
Very good. Slay. And for a movie, I just rewatched Anchorman. And I love Anchorman. It's such a great comedy movie. I'm sorry, like I love Will Ferrell. For me is such a genius. If you manage to write and like do like just Anchorman and then you produce Succession, I love you forever. I'm very grateful for you. So the whole cast. I don't know if you guys ever watched Anchorman. It's iconic.
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I love it so much. It's so fucking good. I love it.
Are we giving our song a movie now? Are we doing that, or just Anna?
I don't have one.
Yeah, you guys can do it at the end. I just have to leave now. But thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll see you.
We love you, Anna.
When I see you. Love you guys.
Bye.
Peace. Well, we talked about a lot there. I guess we should probably actually talk about Mania weekend.
Yeah, let's actually talk about
the stream.
That was
we talked about everything but Mania.
You know what? Hey, listen, the girls need to rant, so that's what this is for.
The girls needed to rant. I feel like I've been so out of it on this podcast, and I do apologize for that, guys. But we're gonna run down a few cards real quick. We're gonna look at the progress in Defy cards first. Just because these are the cards that we need to look at. Obviously, we were meant to be talking to Vert Vixen about her matches, but she wasn't able to join us today. But let's start with progress. That's midnight. That's a midnight showing on the Thursday. We will be there. The match that I'm most excited. Do you know what the progress card is? Like, have you seen it?
Yeah. Can you read it?
Yeah. All right. Okay. I will read through the whole card because some of it's very funny. It's a pretty decent card, but so first match we've got One Called Manders versus Tate Mayfair's versus Marcus Mabbers, so a triple threat for the WXW Unified World Title, which will be very, very fun. The fact that WXW is getting represented in the States. Then for the Proteus title, we've got a scramble match, classic. We love Mania weekend scrambles. So we've got Simon Miller versus Effie versus Adam Priest versus Charles Crowley versus Paul Walterhauser. So far,
he really loves
there'll
the
probably
wrestling
be
thing.
more. Huh?
He really loves the wrestling thing. Paul Walter Hall.
Yeah, Paul Walterhauser. This will be the second time we've seen him live.
What a guy, man.
What a guy. Axel Tischer versus Mike DeVecchio for the Atlas Championship. Lycos Jim versus Boisterous Behavior, which I will think will easily be like one of the party matches of the weekend. If you've never seen Lycos Jim or Boisterous Behavior, by the way, is Man Like DeReese and Leon Slater. So.
Oh my gosh! So I've been wanting to see DeReese for a very long time. I've seen Twitter before. But,
so good. DeReese is so good.
And, you know, like, I haven't seen Lycos Gym at all. So I'm actually really excited for this. I'm really excited.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be a really good time. And then the women's match for the Progress card is Nina Samuels versus Riho versus Vert Vixen. Nina is the women's world champion at the moment. Riho is the former champion. She just lost the belt in February maybe. And obviously Vert Vixen is stateside representation, so that'll be a trios match for the women's world championship.
I'm excited to see Nina Samuels. I haven't seen her, and I've always wanted to like see Nina Samuels.
You've never seen Nina? I suppose actually that makes sense. I say that like
I never went to Riot Cabaret when I was in London, so like like the Riot shows. So
she was world champion there for like 600 days or something crazy.
But she's also tagged like in Sendai Girls. She's tags up with Lena Cross pretty regularly. So like that's where I see a lot of her work in Japan.
Yeah, and then the men's world title match for Progress, which is possibly the funniest matchup they could have run, if you ask me. Luke Jacobs versus Michael Oku.
Here in the States?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
It's gonna be really, really funny if Michael Oku beats Luke for another belt.
Oh my. You know,
because they traded the Rev Pro belt because of Luke won it in August and then Oku won it back in December.
I have questions, but none that I can ask online. None that I can ask on here.
It'll be fun. It's very Mania coded for them to run that match again. They have the chance to do the funniest thing. It would the funniest thing they could do with that.
How much of the crowd do you think? Well, this is your first time on Mania Week too. How much of the crowd do you think is really tapped into like British wrestling and like actively follows? I'm sure some of maybe some of the Defy 15%. Fans, like maybe some of the Defy fans, since you know like Defy and Pride work together a lot. But I'm interested to see
like 15%.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a whole lot of like because of I'm going. My friend Eden is going, and I know like one other British person that's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a whole lot of people looking around and being like, "What's the tea?" I hope they've. To be fair, Progress have had some pretty good video packages recently, so I hope they have good video packages to explain. But yeah, so that's the full Progress. And Cara Noir is going to be there. He just doesn't have an announced match right now.
So I've never seen him.
We will see.
Okay, I'm listening.
I don't know that he'll be your cup of tea. Cara Noir is an interesting wrestler. I enjoy some of what he does.
Now I'm scared. I'm listening, by the way. I just need to go find my charger. I need to go get my charger.
No, you're okay.
I'm listening.
So yeah, so that's the full Progress card. That's the Thursday at midnight. It will be. And then let's talk a little bit about Defy. Because the Defy card actually looks really fun, and I'm really excited for Defy. But I think Defy also has a really funny Michael Oku match because Michael Oku is wrestling Evil at Defy.
What? What? You're fucking lying, Charlie. What?
I wish I was lying.
Evil.
I'm wrestling Evil.
What did I do to deserve this?
I didn't book it. The Fire booked it.
God.
The Fire booked it. I didn't book it.
Jeez,
It's just really funny to me that Michael Oku is Resident Evil. I think Defy's the same day as Progress, so that's two funny matches.
I will say though, I think it's actually going to be really entertaining because can you imagine Amira going toe to toe with House of Torture?
Weirdly enough, yes, I can imagine that quite
like that. I think that's going to be. It will be entertaining at the very minimum. Yeah. It will be entertaining.
I will be sports entertained. I think
I will be sports entertained. Yeah.
Other highlights from this card. Let's have a look here. Galane Demal's on the card. He's teaming with the Bollywood Boys against C4 and Negro Casas. How random. El Phantasmo is facing Clark Connors and Man Like DeReese. Another match I'm very, very, very.
I will be there. I will be there.
I think that match is going to be sick. Oh, I know people have their opinions about ELP and Clark Connors and whatever. I don't give a fuck. I love all those guys.
I think ELP, he's found a role that works for him. Yeah, he found what works for him. I think the TV title was like a really good spot for him. Like that's a really good spot for him on the card. He's coming to his own. He still does really fun shit. And I think also too, as far as foreigners in New Japan, he's really loved. Like his connection with the audience is really special. Like he's very loved. And so like, hey, it works.
It does. Other highlights from this card. The Rock and Roll Express are wrestling. What
in the FTR is this?
They're facing Midnight Heat. The Defy card is very interesting. There's some like interesting stuff on here. And then we've got Sinner and Sane versus Lycos Jim. Kenta versus Mans Warner.
Who's Sinner and Sane?
That is Jude Icarus and Travis Williams.
Oh, okay. Continue.
They wrestle in a show, a promotion. Prestige, maybe? Prestige might book them. It might be Prestige that they wrestle in. But yeah, so that's some highlights from that card. I'm not going to go through so many. I just had to go through those two cards. I'm not sure. What else are we doing? Do you want to talk a bit about Dragon Gate? I don't know a whole lot about Dragon Gate.
I don't know a lot about Dragon Gate. I'm going to be honest. I'm just going. There's a few folks that I want to see at Dragon Gate. And also, too, this is Dragon Gate's first time in the States in a very long time. So, I think just the novelty of that alone is more than enough to, get me in the door. I haven't seen too much on the card. Actually, I'm going to look it up right now, too.
Oh, shit. Deadlock have, Arez and Beast Mortos versus Laredo Kid and Ray Horus booked in a tag match.
Okay, so they have at least on there's they're doing a 3-way tag team match. Jimmy Lloyd and Alec Prince versus Ben K and Hio and Willie Mack and Rich Swann. So that's going to be on the Wednesday show. Then they on their Friday show, they have Reese Maddox versus Diablo Azteca and versus Kid Lynx. That's all I see announced so far. I'm sure there's other matches, but that's the last thing that. Oh, they have Yamato versus Rich Swann on the Friday show. Shun Skywalker, Koto Minora, Ishin versus Ben K. Sai and Hio, if that's going to be for the Friday show, and for the Wednesday show. Oh, they do have the full card. Okay, so I said the Reese Maddox versus Ho Ho Loon, 6-man tag match. Ultimo Dragon, La Estrella, El Kuki, I think. I don't know. Versus Evan Rivers, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams. The 3-way tag that I talked about. This is a different one. Cole Radrick, Alec Price, Ben K versus Ben K, Hio versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Marcus Mathers versus Sai. There's a Stardom tag. This looks interesting. Tora and Konami versus Azumi and Starlight Kid. And then there's a 6-man tag: Shun Skywalker, Koto Minoura, and Ishin versus Yamato, Dragon Kid, and Susumu Yokosuka. So that's the Wednesday card for Dragon Gate, the Rebirth show. That's the one that I'm probably going to get a ticket. I'm going to get a ticket for.
I need to look again tickets for Dragon Gate. Nothing to Lose is the Prestige show, and they've booked Inspiration, fucking the Iconics.
Oh, I'm actually interested to see them.
I honestly can't remember if they're good wrestlers or not, so I'm very interested to see them.
You know what?
They're facing Kylie Ray and Nicole Matthews.
Oh, I think what I liked about them is that in the time they were like a real tag team, I will say. And when they were first starting,
they came up as a tag team.
Yeah, like when they were starting those women's tag belts, like they were a real tag team, and so like I always really respected that about them, and like that, like I think that they had really good chemistry, and like even they were able to find success in TNA too, even after WWE, and so like I like the way that they bet on themselves.
Yeah, I think the match I'm most excited for on the Prestige card though is they have Galana Demal, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. and Arez versus Zebrats.
Guys, I've gotten to see Wagner wrestle once. I've only seen Wagner wrestle once. I've never seen Galena wrestle, but anywhere
I've seen them both wrestle once.
Yeah, anywhere they are is where I will be. So like I didn't even need to know who they're wrestling against. I will be there.
But ever since Zebrats as well, I'm very excited to see Shun Skywalker again. Prestige, what else has Prestige got? Kevin Blackwood versus Leon Slater, ELP versus Oku, Sinner and Saint versus Cyclist Jim, Jordan Cruz versus Bodie Young Prodigy, never heard of him, and then Suzuki versus Adam Priest, which is just a funny match. I'm sure they announced this 8-man tag as well recently. They did announce an 8-man tag. I'm not going to read out everyone in this match, but Born Vertigo's in it, and I'm very excited to see Born live again. So that seems like that's it for the Prestige card. Elsewhere, so it said, Spring Break card looks great. I can't remember the whole thing off the top of my head.
They said that Bazilla versus Megan Bain is on that card.
Bazilla versus Megan Bain. We've got Zack Sabre Jr. versus one called Manders. I need to be there.
I've heard you all say so many great things about Manders, and so I'm excited to finally see him.
There's only one. He's been adopted by the UK in his latest EU Europe tour.
I saw Ospreay talking about it. Yeah,
he's so loved. He's so loved here. He's gonna enter the Revolution Rumble in June. That's already been announced. I'm convinced he's winning it. I think it's going to be him versus whoever's champion, Rev Pro champion at fucking anniversary show, which will be awesome.
Because it's 2 days.
It is. I'm not going to say how much we spent on tickets for that, but I'm sat front row for those shows.
I feel like it's worth it. Like I will say, they always put together.
I'm so convinced Mercedes main event in night one.
Yeah, so I should. Like literally,
I think it's Sadie's versus Windsor for night one of the Rev Pro anniversary weekend of.
That's the only person that makes sense for her to actually lose it to.
Yeah. She ain't losing it to Daniel.
No. That wouldn't it be nice though? It would be a little.
No, wouldn't it be so wonderful if they could run that match?
Honestly, if Danny Luna, if we could free Danny Luna from her TNA contract before then, let's do it.
Amen. I'm just saying. I would not be against it.
No,
I love
I need that match.
I would love to see it. I think it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I want to see Danny versus Athena. I've been talking about that for years.
Oh my gosh. Maybe Riot Cabaret will book it. Maybe. They did manage to book Danny versus Thunder Rosa. They did throw another person in to take the pin, but semantics. Yeah. Just ignore that bit. Fish posh.
Who cares? My eye is so sore today. I just keep fucking rubbing it. So it's been a day. It's been a good day, but it's been a day. But what else is even happening Mania weekend? We're hanging out.
I know that they a lot of people are hosting like get-togethers, watch parties. I think I'm gonna be honest. I typically am in bed before 8, so this is going to be very interesting to see how much I can hang. I'm very interested to see like how much I can hang and how much coffee I'm going to need to drink. I'm excited for. I'm going to go to at least one of the Stardom shows. I have a ticket for the Thursday show.
I'm doing so much on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Everything that I'm going to is on Thursday. It feels like I don't think I've got anything planned for any other day so far.
Yeah, I think I have one or two things for Friday.
Is Prestige not on Thursday as well?
Yeah.
Fuck me. West Coast Prestige and okay.
We're just gonna be.
I'm gonna be sleeping Friday. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
We're gonna be so tired, bro. That's why I'm actually really glad that like I'm going home on Saturday because I'm gonna need.
Honestly, Loki, I might just chill on Saturday because I'm not going to a watch. I don't have a watch party.
Megan versus Bazilla is supposed to be at Joey Janela's spring break,
which is Friday.
I think it's Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Saturday morning, I think.
Ha! Listen. You can go to GCW, Charlie, and see Megan Bain versus Bazilla. Maybe I will. Who knows? I actually don't know where I'm going half the time at the moment.
At this
GCW still have me blocked on Twitter. Lol.
I'll do anything for Megan Bain. Actually,
I would do anything for Megan Bain.
I've seen her.
Megan Bain hit me.
I've seen her wrestle in person twice, and both times were in Japan. Like I got to see that really great match she had with Julia that ended up winning Stardom.
Yeah.
The year end award, but no, she's gotten even better since then. Like Megan Bain.
Sorry, I wrestled Masha Slamovich.
I bet that was
pretty sick, to be fair. Best match of the show. Not surprising. It was a GCW show in the UK. Not surprising that was the best match of the show.
Yeah, we've been hearing that a lot about women's wrestling recently. Just like, guys, y'all aren't even giving the girls competition at this point.
Ain't that fucking crazy what happens when the women have room to grow? But I was going to say, speaking of women, I'm not speaking of women. Do we have super chats? I'm going to, honestly, it is 11:30 here. I need to wrap this up because I am ready for bed.
Okay.
Let's have a look here. We've got Danby 900 999 super chat. Thank you. LeBron Cazone faces Leon Slater at WrestleMania weekend. He does. That's on the DPW show. I'm pretty sure. Then Nomura the same weekend he teams with Calvin Tanklin versus Chris Brooks and Hiroshima. DPW is the best. It is DPW. Thank you. It's the best US promotion for the third year in a row. DPW do some cool shit, man. They book some really, really cool stuff.
Their Japan card is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was just talking about it. Like that match they're talking about, that's booked for the show they're running in Japan. It's actually pretty sick card.
They're putting some really cool stuff together. Dan B 900 499. Thank you again. Watch the Dusk Pro Show WrestleMania weekend if you can. Mad Dog versus Amira, who was trained by Nicole Matthews in a dog collar match, is going to rock. I'm very aware there's 2 Amiras in wrestling. I thought for a second you meant our Amira, like as in Michael Oku's girlfriend Amira, and I was like, how the fuck did I miss this? But no, other Amira, who is just as wonderful as our Amira.
It's so crazy because for some reason, even though I'm American, I was introduced to Irish Amira. Irish Amira first. And so like whenever I'll see like American Amira booked, I'm like, oh, like, it's a completely different person. She had a really good match with Athena too, if I'm not mistaken. See,
the thing is, they don't just share a name; they also look low-key similar.
They look like,
like they could be sisters. And it really baffles my brain when I see things like this, and people don't specify which Amira they mean. But I know which one you mean. It's fine. But yeah. So if you're going to Mania weekend and you see us, come say hi. As long as you're normal about it. That's always my
Please be normal.
Always the rule. Please be normal. I'm gonna be there for a week, and we're gonna be hanging around with really cool people, people we're friends with. So. Don't be losers. I don't know. That's my advice if you see us. Don't be losers.
The girls
are back.
We're so bad.
I'm so fucking excited. This will probably be my only big trip of the year until Japan later in the year, maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's do it.
That's the plan. Japan is the plan.
I think I probably am going to sit down after All In. Like, I think I'm going to do all, because I'm staying actually with like one of my best friends who lives in Dallas, and so it's going to be great for us to reconnect, like shows aside. I think I'm going to sit down and like save for Japan after that. Yeah, that'll be the next real big.
Slay.
Wow.
I also want to save to learn to drive, so if I stop traveling so much, I can do that. But yeah, come hang out. Come see us if you're going to be in the States. Maybe we'll make some content.
You know what?
We say this every trip.
If I wasn't so like frazzled, I would have like loved to like put together like a meetup or something. And I think that might have made sense for All In if people were coming. But, because like, Tony Khan is committed to the Death Riders. Guess what? They scared all the girls away. None of
the girly pops are going to All In no more.
When the booking scares the hoes, we have a problem. We have a problem. Now, it would have been really cool to like do some really fun stuff. And so we'll see, guys.
We will see. I'm going to be so real. I don't have the brain power to do movie or song recommendations right now. I will workshop that and I will put it in the things. We will update this the lists, but I'm not going to do them right now. Lyric, do you want to do your plugs?
Yeah, I do have my song would be so I'm obsessed with the new Lady Gaga album. My paws are up. Mayhem has been amazing, and all of the tracks are really good, but the one that I've been playing the most this week is Love Drug. So I love Love Drug by Lady Gaga. So everybody listen to that. And for my movie, I have recently started rewatching everything X-Men, and X-Men First Class is one of my favorite movies ever. Not just superhero movies, but ever. Favorite movies ever. And so I rewatched it and cried during Beach Divorce. So
that's real. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. So where can people find you?
You can find me at Lyric Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram. You can subscribe to my YouTube at Lyric Swinton. And just stay tuned. I have a very, very, very interesting episode of Maps and Graps dropping tomorrow. You know the person who's the guest. It's not a wrestler, but it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. So I'm interested for people to listen to it.
I'm intrigued now. You just had my wife on the other week.
Which one?
Catherine. I was talking about Catherine.
She's amazing. And the fact that she just now started podcasting is actually
I know.
Like, she's so talented and people need to be tapping her. Like, she's so knowledgeable. She's so smart. And she's so nice. She's so kind.
She's not afraid of having real opinions as well. So.
Absolutely. One of the things I always like about her, she's not afraid to be mean to men, which I think we need to do more. So
it's so real.
Go Cat.
Go Cat. I love her dearly and I miss her. I saw her like a week and a half ago. But on that note, there will be no Girls on Graps next week for obvious reasons. The week after, I land back on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. Probably not. Maybe we'll reschedule to Friday or something. But yeah, check out Lyric stuff. Follow her everywhere.
I have one more thing. Yes, I do a Dynamite after show every Wednesday after Dynamite on my YouTube channel with Danny from Black Girl Wrestling. It's called the Dynamite Diary. So if you want to hang out and talk shit about Dynamite booking, we're your girls. Sorry.
Danny has one of the realest tweets ever, and it always makes me laugh when I see it. But it's a tweet that was just like, all of the confusion with the main event scene just happens because no one Googled how long it takes to climb Mount Everest.
And is she wrong? No, actually, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Bro.
And on that note, Darby, good luck with Everest, but fuck me. Have you ruined the company? Yeah, he hasn't ruined the company. I'm being pedantic.
Well, this definitely ruined the tour. I'll tell you that.
He ruined the tour, but the girls are back on tour next week. So keep an eye out for Vegas content. I need to go to bed because I'm losing my mind a little bit. And thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Dynamite review tomorrow. Go hit up Novi. Novi's live for his preview show right now. Go over to It's Noviac. And we'll catch you all on the flip side. Peace.